Hi Aquarius, and welcome to your April 2025 horoscope. There are two things to keep track of in April. The first is Venus going direct, which I think you'll be happy to hear about. And the second is a T-square between Mars, Pluto, and the Sun. This one is taking place in your angular houses, so it might feel quite challenging. But let's dive into the month. Let's go day by day and talk about exactly what you can expect. Between April 4th and April 7th, we have a conjunction with Venus and Saturn in your second house. While they conjunct, they also trine Mars in your sixth house and sextile Uranus in your fourth house. The conjunction with Venus and Saturn might feel like you're facing a very real financial roadblock or a very real roadblock to your self-confidence. It might be that you get a bill that comes in the mail that makes you all of a sudden feel like there's not a lot of money in the bank. You might lose a job and all of a sudden there's a very real reality of you not getting any money the next month. But it could also have an effect, or it could also be that it's more of a deeper psychological issue, that you just feel like you struggle a bit with feeling self-confident. Maybe there's a very real practical roadblock that prevents you from feeling self-confident. Maybe you have a rash that makes you feel less confident. Maybe all of a sudden you hurt yourself and you have to walk a little bit in a different way. And that also makes you feel a little bit self-conscious. So all of this being said, thankfully, the Venus and Saturn conjunction is supported with Mars and Uranus. And therefore, they can give us some clues as to how we can work through this roadblock. With Mars in your sixth house, taking care of your routine, making sure you stick to a good diet, a good sleeping schedule, good exercise routine is going to help you bring your self-confidence back up to speed. And with Uranus in your fourth house, maybe relying on some family will help you, whether financially or with your self-confidence. And maybe even doing some of that deeper psychological work, going to therapy, will also help you deal with this roadblock. A couple of days later, on April 13th, Venus goes direct in your second house. This means that anything you were reflecting on when it comes to your finances or when it comes to your self-confidence, from the 13th, it's a good time to actually start putting it into action. Maybe you've been thinking about starting a new side hustle so you can bring some money in. Maybe you've been thinking about going ahead and doing some cosmetic procedure to your teeth so that you can feel more self-confident. From the 13th, it's a good time to start doing so. And what I love about April 13th is that not only is Venus going direct, but we also have a full moon in the sign of Libra, which is ruled by Venus herself. This full moon is in your ninth house, Aquarius. So you might find that you need to let go of certain beliefs and certain values. Maybe you had a belief that you are always meant to struggle in some way, a belief that rich people are evil, a belief that only people with money can feel beautiful and look beautiful. You might find with this full moon that you need to let those beliefs go. Letting those beliefs go, it's definitely going to help you with this Venus going direct in your second house. It's going to help you to take actions to improve your self-confidence and to improve your finances. And I will mention two more dates that are important for this theme. These are April 24th and April 25th. On those days, Venus conjuncts the North Node and Saturn. So therefore, there might be things coming up around these 2 days that remind you again, Hey, remember you wanted to change something about your finances. Hey, remember you wanted to take some actions to improve your self-confidence. Are you doing them? Maybe it's time to do them. Maybe it's time to take another step. 24th and 25th will bring up the same themes again. Later in the month, on April 18th and 19th, we have Mars and the Sun entering new signs. Mars enters Leo, or your 7th house, and the Sun enters Taurus, or your 10th house. Mars entering your 7th house, Aquarius, you might feel a lot more direct and a lot more assertive with your partner. And the Sun entering your 4th house, you might feel more energized to spend time alone. You might feel like you really need to be in your own space to recharge your battery. And you might also feel a lot more energized by keeping in contact with your family. As soon as they enter their new signs, however, they are forming a T-square with Pluto. Pluto is still at those beginning degrees of Aquarius in your 1st house. So therefore, when Mars enters Leo, it's going to oppose Pluto. And the Sun, who's at the beginning degrees of Taurus, they are going to square the Sun. These are angular houses for you, Aquarius. This might be intense, especially if you have your Sun, your Moon, or your Ascendant at those beginning 0 to 6 degrees of Aquarius, Leo, Taurus, or Scorpio. They're angular houses, so you might also feel like there are very tangible, very real effects on your entire life. Pluto in your 1st house is asking you to face any fears you have around being a leader, around being unique, around standing out from the crowd, around being afraid of the crowd following you and watching you because you do something in a really unique way. Being a trendsetter for others. Are you afraid you're not good enough or strong enough? Are you afraid that you shouldn't be in that position? Everybody should be equal. This is going to require some deeper psychological work. The Sun is in your 4th house. It's going to require you to maybe consider, where's this coming from? Is there some ancestral patterns that have led to this lack of leadership, fear of leadership you have? Are there, or is there a certain way you were brought up by your family that has led to this? That maybe you were always told not to stand out, to instead be part of the crowd. It's definitely impactful. You might find that it has an impact on your personality, it has an impact on your relationships, it has an impact on your family. So there's definitely, it's going to be an important one for you, Aquarius. You might feel it from the 18th until the 27th, but especially pay attention to the 27th of April. That's when the Mars and Pluto opposition is exact. And that is also the day we have a new moon in Taurus, a new moon in your 4th house. And I believe this is such a beautiful sign, a beautiful arrangement from the universe that says, if you do this deeper work, if you face these fears you have around standing out from the crowd, you will be rewarded with a much more solid psychological foundation, a stronger, more solid inner world. You're going to be rewarded with a deeper relationship with your family. You're going to be rewarded with a more beautiful, harmonious home life. So it's a really nice promise, but you got to do the work, Aquarius. And finally, we close off the month on April 30th with Venus entering Aries, or your 3rd house. This is the place Venus was in back in March when it went retrograde. Therefore, any reflections you had, any ideas you had on things you wanted to change about your communication, about your writing, your teaching, your speaking engagements, any reflections you had around how you wanted to change your relationship with your siblings or your neighbors, Maybe you thought you wanted to become more curious, more open to what's going on in the world, keep up with the news. Now that Venus is going to enter your third house and it is direct, it's a great time to put some of them into action. Reach out to your siblings, arrange a date, sign up for some newsletters so that you can keep up with the news. So Aquarius, that is your horoscope for April 2025. I hope you're looking forward to it. I hope you're not too scared because of that T-square that's happening in your angular houses. I do promise that there are really wonderful benefits coming from it, even though it might feel uncomfortable. Don't forget to put into motion the reflections you've had with the Venus retrograde around your finances, around your building up your self-confidence, and around your communication. Thanks, Aquarius, and I hope to see you again soon.